you doing? I'm swell. I'm fed up of this floor, but other than that, I'm swell. I kind of want my old background back as well. I mean, I'm kind of liking the sofa, but I also like my old background, but kind of stuck. I miss my floor. Hi guys, welcome back. So you can see that we have naked face today, which means we are doing a makeup tutorial. I'm doing a couple of these this week actually. This is the first of the two, and they are, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, this is the first of two, and today we are going to be focusing specifically on the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette. So I recently got this. It was released kind of end of last year, I want to say October, November time, and lots of people went kind of crazy for it, and I was so tempted to pick it up, but because of the time of year, November, we have so many birthdays in our family, same with December, and then obviously it's Christmas, and I just couldn't justify doing it. But my mum picked it up recently, and it wasn't quite her kind of colour tones, so she very kindly gave it to me. And I asked you guys on Instagram a couple of weeks ago if you wanted to see a tutorial on this versus the Naked Reloaded palette, and you guys chose the cherry one. So that is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be doing a full tutorial on a look for this. And yeah, if you did want to see on the Reloaded palette, Thursday's look is going to be like a full face, but I'm also going to be using that. So stay tuned for that if you are a bit more interested in that one. But today we're going to be focusing on the beautiful pinky purpley tones of this cherry palette. This is one of the it's from their Naked range, which everybody kind of raves about, everybody goes crazy about. I am included in that. I think the Urban Decay eyeshadows in the Naked range are really, really good. I've never had any issues with them. Urban Decay eyeshadows in general are really good. The only ones I've ever had some issues with is just some of the ones in the On The Run palette. But overall, they are really, really good. They are obviously a little bit more expensive. This cherry palette, for example, retails at around £42. However, I have seen, I think on Feel Unique, it's discounted at the moment. Debenhams, it's discounted at the moment. So you can get it for around sort of £35. So it's worth shopping around a bit to see if you can get some discounts on it, because there will be some somewhere. But generally, their eyeshadow palettes are really, really good, and I do highly recommend them. They are probably one of my favourite formulas. I just always go back to them. And this one, as the name suggests, cherry, it is very much around those cherry shades. So we have some kind of more deeper, pinkier tones. They do have an existing kind of pink tone Naked palette, which is the Naked 3. This was actually the first higher end palette I'd ever purchased. It's the first Naked palette I purchased, and I've used this for like bridesmaids and brides and things. So it's always going to have a really special place in my heart. Can you say that about makeup? I think you can. And you can see this one is a lot more kind of muted, pinkier tones, more kind of brown pink tones. This one is definitely a lot more kind of on the more colourful side. You've got some deeper tones in here than on this one. This one is a lot more muted. So that's kind of the difference between the two. I really like both. The formulas in both are really, really good. So, I mean, if you do like more neutral looks, then the Naked 3 is definitely going to be more for you. If you like a little bit more colour, this is going to work, but you can also do some neutral looks. We're not going to do that today. We're going to go for a good look today. So, yeah. Anyway, if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, we are going to put this on my eyes. I'm just going to do it and then put a voiceover for it and see kind of how that goes. The rest of my makeup, I will kind of list everything I've used below, but I won't necessarily walk you through it because you are here for the palette, not necessarily the rest of the look. So that's what we're going to focus on. I should probably get some actual makeup tape. Is there such a thing? Rather than just using sellotape all the time, but it works, so you know. Okay, so we obviously just started by putting some tape because I wanted this to be a super dramatic wing look. You can get some more neutral looks out of this palette, but I just felt like going all out today. So I'm just using kind of normal tape, but you can use whatever you fancy. If you have proper makeup tape, probably should use that. I then used Caution, which is like a very kind of muted lid shade, and I just kind of created a tiny little bit of shape with this. Using just a crease brush. So I took it out to the tape and just kind of put that through the crease and a little bit over the lid. It's not too dissimilar from my actual lid shade. I just found that it kind of helped to create a base for the other shades to go on top of. I then took Feels, which for me is like the perfect kind of mauvey crease shade, and as we did with Caution, I'm just taking that through and blending it through the crease just on like the outer V as well, so going right up to that tape, creating a really neat line and then blending that through the crease. And obviously I'm doing that all on both lines, and I'm just going to build that up until I get the kind of depth of colour that I want from this. And to be honest, this is just a really good practice anyway to create like a really nice transition shade. It just helps to make things blend out into the crease a lot better and out of the lid a lot better. It helps to create some shape for you, and this is just, I just do this for every kind of look that I'm doing, even if I'm just going to do a winged liner and nothing else, to be honest. And then I did take Juicy, which is a more kind of warmer corally tone, and I just used that to blend out the very outer kind of edges of Feels. I've been finding lately that if I take a slightly warm tone and just kind of blend out the outer edges, it just makes it look a little bit more natural and helps give a little bit more of a natural blend, and just kind of helps to wing things out a little bit more. So I just did that. And then this is where we had some fun. So I went into Drunk Dull, which is this gorgeous deep purple metallic shade. The metallics in here are stunning, they're so nice. And I just took that on a flat brush. I didn't use any setting spray to kind of make it a little bit more oomph, because you don't really need to, but obviously if you want to you can. And I just took that all over the lid. We decorated the entire lid with it. So I'm just pressing that in. I'm not kind of sweeping the colour, I'm pressing the pigment onto the lid. I just find this is how I get the best depth of colour, and then I'm just kind of blending it with like the very top edge of the brush into the crease, so that there isn't like a really kind of set line, it's a little bit more blended, and I'm just building that up to the depth of colour and like how deep and beautiful and dark I want it to be. And it's just a beautiful tone, and I think where I've got brown eyes, this shade looks so gorgeous with it. I'm obsessed. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm just taking my crease shade brush again. I haven't put anything extra on it, I'm just using that to blend out the edges a little bit more, make everything look a little bit less harsh. And then what I've done is I have just taken Feels again, just to kind of help a little bit more of that transition into the blend. And I've also used Turn On just to kind of go into that inner corner to create a little bit more light there, where obviously this is quite a dark look. Now at this point, I do the rest of my face. So I'm not going to make you watch that, I'll link all the products below, but yeah. Ta-da! The rest of the face is done. So, moving on to that lower lash line, I didn't really want to do much because I was so pleased with how like the top turned out, and I didn't want to kind of take away from that. So I literally just took Feels on a pencil brush and I just blended that along the lower lash line just to bring the whole look together and make it kind of be a little bit more cohesive. So I just blended that along the lower lash line, not too like blown out or anything, just quite close. And then I did take a little bit of Privacy just on the outer edge, just to bring that kind of darker tone that we used earlier, to bring that all together. And then for highlight, I just took this shade from the Soph palette from Revolution. This is also the highlight that I'm wearing today, and I've just put that in the brow bone. It's got more of a pinky tone to it, and also on the inner corner, and it just helped to really brighten everything up. And then for mascara, I've just used the Urban Decay Troublemaker mascara. This is one of those that I kind of did in my declutter and I needed to use because I hadn't so far this year. I like it. I think I'm definitely going to keep it and use it a bit more. I feel like I would need something a little bit more dramatic for this look personally. But as an everyday kind of mascara, this is quite nice, very kind of wispy and spidery lashes. I would just personally want a little bit more volume for this kind of a look, but that's neither here nor there. And And then for the lips, I also took a shade that was from my box that I needed to try. This is just one of the Maybelline Superstay matte inks in the shade Lover. I remember really liking this, but it's been a little while since I've tried it, so I can't really remember what the formula was like. But this shade just goes with this look so perfectly. It's more of like a mauvey nude pink, and it just looks so nice and it's so easy to apply. Finished off with some setting spray and I am done. So this is it. What do you think? I love this. I really like putting more darker tones just over the lid at the moment and just having that as more of a smoky eye look. I just think it's such an easy way to achieve that, to be kind of very dramatic. I love how it's winged out as well. Obviously you don't have to do that. You can make it a little bit more rounded if you want, or blend that out if you want. Completely up to you. And obviously you can add liquid liner if you want to. But I just really love the look of this. I love the tone. I love how it kind of goes with the brown eyes. Yeah, I love how it goes with like the brown eyes. I just really like this. I think it's a very cool look and I love this palette. I just think the formulas are there, the colours are great, and you can create so many looks. If you do want me to do more of a neutral look, let me know in the comments and I can definitely do that. But for now, we've gone kind of dramatic. But yeah, thank you so much for joining today. I hope you guys liked this. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button. Let's push it. And yeah, I will see you all again tomorrow. Bye.